So you're coming over the top, you've tried pretty much everything out there, maybe this can help you. Coming over the top is a swing flaw that has plagued golfers since the game was invented. But what I wanted to know, and what I want you to know, is the likely root cause of this problem. And for many golfers, it's natural instinct that's promoting this over the top, out to win movement. Let's see if I can explain this as simple as possible. There's no need to complicate this. Right, as we know, there are two main objectives in golf. One is hitting the golf ball and one is propelling it towards an intended target. And the problems start with the order of these two tasks. Obviously hitting the golf ball comes first, hitting the ball towards the target is secondary. And because hitting the golf ball comes first, this tends to be what the golfer, you, concentrates on. Now herein lies the issue. Because the main objective is to hit the golf ball with the club head, you'll find the most effective, most efficient way in order to be able to make that happen. So moving the club head towards the golf ball from the very start of the downswing makes perfect sense if hitting the golf ball is your main focus. But unfortunately, as you're probably aware of, this tends to lead to undesirable impact conditions, club path, club face, low point control, strike, the list goes on. So we're going to have to overcome that instinctive movement from the top of the backswing and replace it with something else. Here's a practice drill to help you out. Now this is a drill or exercise that's going to take a little bit of patience, it's going to take a little bit of time, it's not something that's going to happen instantly. And because it is quite tricky, I'd maybe pick a club like this one I've got here, a 9-iron with a little bit of loft, it's a little bit shorter, it's going to make things just that little bit easier. One of the most important things with this drill is that the outcome of the shot isn't your main focus, it's going to be how you're actually hitting the golf ball, that initial objective that we talked about earlier. And the reason why this is so difficult, we're actually sort of remapping, rerouting signals in the brain, which sounds a little bit sort of sci-fi, but this is actually what is actually taking place. When we hit the golf ball with a particular movement a certain amount of times, this becomes hardwired in the brain. This movement happens automatically when the task is the same, the task being hitting the golf ball. So we've got to change the signals that are coming from the brain to the body and change the movement responsible for hitting that little white object with this club head. And the way in which we're going to do that, we're just going to hit some gentle shots with this 9-iron, maybe a pitching wedge if you want to use a wedge, 8 if you want to use an 8-iron. We're going to swing up to the top of your backswing. Now for the over the toppers out there, the first movement would be the club head moving towards the ball. We'd then subsequently come across the ball, hitting pulls and slices. So we're going to change that first initial movement from the top. We're going to actually move the club head, what feels like away from the ball, down into this kind of position, and then through. So the club path is much more likely to be neutral, potentially maybe even a little bit from in to out. And this is how I'm going to get you to hit balls. You don't have to go down to the driving range and spend a fortune on balls because they're not going to be great shots initially. The objective is just to hit the ball with a new movement. That's remapping, rewiring the brain, which is what this drill is all about. So initially I'd start this at home, maybe just hitting some balls into a net. If you've got some airflow balls, you can hit those into a wall or a curtain or something like that. It doesn't have to be a real ball. So take your setup as you normally would, swing up to the top of your backswing. Now I'm going to get you to move the club in this direction. So it kind of feels like the club head is moving away from the ball, not towards it. Dropping it down, swinging through and hitting a shot. And as you can see, the result isn't going to be that great. But what you've done, you've hit the golf ball with a different movement, and that's all that counts. And it's all about repeating this move over and over again until you feel as though you can do it a little bit quicker and more naturally. And this can take hundreds, potentially even thousands of balls until you're able to do it a little bit quicker. And you should start seeing your shot pattern change. And again, I hate to bang on, but the most important thing when doing this drill is not to concentrate on the outcome of the shot initially. It's more about making sure that you make a different movement and hit the golf ball. Again, that's remapping, rewiring your brain. And at some point off in the future, you're going to be able to recreate this same movement, but at full speed. I hope this video has been of some value to you, and if you've tried the practice idea, I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments box below. And as usual, please like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.